Welcome back to Les Schwab Tire Center's Outdoor GPS, presented by Fisherman's Marine and Outdoor. Now it's time for your weekend tech tip, brought to you by Chevy Silverado.
Welcome back, everybody. Here's your Chevy Silverado tech tip of the week. Specifically, once we figured out we were going to have Jared on, it took a little while to figure that out. Twitch engine is really going to be, I mean, for folks that are very into chasing silvers, especially in tributaries, twitch and jigs are just one of the most effective ways to go after. Now, I'll mention a couple of other ways that you can target silvers in tributaries, or for that matter, it is a very, very effective, I'll just put it that way, on the main stem Columbia, out of a boat, drifting. Lots of folks are very successful with that. I haven't actually tried it, but it's another reason why that bow mount is such an advantage, especially in the right area of different mouths of different river systems. But those twitchers are phenomenal. I love the bullet head on there, and the question was pretty specific, was on rigging, okay? Now, let's just start from the jig itself. Anywhere from a ½ ounce to a full ounce are the size jigs that you're going to want to have. They cast awesome, and if you haven't done this before, it does take a little bit of time to get the feel for it. It's all about the cadence and on how quickly that you're moving that rod tip. There's actually several really good videos out there. Bob Kratzer put one together with some folks out. I can't remember offhand, but it's easy to find. Some of those YouTube videos that are out there. But the basic rigging is, of course, your jig. I like a 25 or even 30 pound, depending on the clarity of the water. Okay, now if it's really clear water, this is 20 pound. The last time I used this setup was over on the Lewis with Cameron, and we were running 20 pound because it was very, very clear. But 20 to 30 pound, 25 is a good happy medium. P-line fluorocarbon, either the CFX or the Shinsi, which is one of my favorite versions of their fluoro. It ties just great knots. I have a lot of confidence in the Shinsi. But bumper, right, to 30 pound braid. Now that bumper could be really whatever length you like. I kind of found, and this was just having the chance to chase them a handful of times, 2 to 3 feet is okay for a bumper length. You can go up to 6 feet. It gives you a little bit more room for breakoffs where you can cut and have plenty of bumper on there without having to redo it. But you're going to take it right down to your 30 pound braided P-line. And there's several different versions that are out there. I don't have the new one, but the braid, excuse me, the TCB Braid 8 is the 30 pound. It's actually on this rod, excuse me. And the rod that you're going to want to use, and I think we have this pulled up, that edge twitching rod, it's the BWS 760. Now that rod is specifically made for twitching. It's a 7'6", okay? As a matter of fact, if you go online, they've got a sale going on all their rods. That might be worth taking a look at as well, everyone. Save yourself a little bit of dough. Go online. I believe it's edge.com, Ryan. Correct me if I'm wrong. edgerods.com. But the BWS, that's the Black Widow 760. It's a 7'6", made specifically for twitching. It weighs literally nothing. I mean, the rod is like air, all right? Pair that up with a 3,000 size reel, and I like speed. The fastest reel that you can find is what I'm telling you to go after. And in the past, you've heard me. Unfortunately, they're no longer a sponsor of Outdoor GPS, or for that matter, anyone, which is very, very sad to not have Abu Garcia part of our show anymore. But that Revo Rocket, I can't say enough about it. The Revo Rocket spinning reel is a monster. It is extremely fast. It's the fastest freshwater spinning reel on the market, period, bar none. And that speed is an advantage. You're able to make your cast, get it turned over quickly, and keep it from getting on the bottom. I mean, you want that jig to be in the strike zone as you're twitching and you're throwing your rod tip down. Again, those videos are out there. You want to make sure that that jig is in the strike zone. The 30-pound braid is going to help you with that because it does get down quickly, and so does the fluorocarbon from P-line. It sinks fast. It's going to get there. It's going to be a little bit of feel. You're going to lose some gear, but it's one of those things that once you get that feel for it, the cadence and where you're fishing correctly, keeping it in the strike zone, it's literally like fishing bass, but for real fish. Not that there's anything wrong with bass, but these are real ones. 12, 13, 14-pound silvers on a full dead run is amazing when they're in your hand. Real size, though, with that 7.6 rod, again from Edge, that's my preferred setup. There's lots of versions that are out there, but a 3,000 size. The reason for that is you got enough line in case you do hook into a good one on a small river and they start burning line on you. You need to have that extra line, and it's more line to utilize if things go wrong. Because if you do break off some of that, you're going to want to have your reel full enough to where you could just reset stuff up. Trust me, it happens. It just happens. Hardest part about twitching for silvers is the cadence. You'll figure that out. They always bite it on the fall. Very rarely you're going to get bit on the rise. So you got to really watch your line, feel. With that rod, you can literally feel everything. Even if your line is slack, you can feel it. I know that it sounds funny, but that's why those rods are the best in the world. It's just that simple. So it's really not, one of the main questions was the connection knot between your fluorocarbon and your 30-pound braid. You could go thicker than that. I know Mr. Kratzer really, really loves the 50-pound braid because it is a little bit less prone to tip wrap. And once you start doing this, you're going to know what I'm talking about, and you may already. But tip wrap can be very, very annoying. And one of the ways that you can get away with that, or get away from that, is that 50-pound is a little bit less likely to tangle up around your rod tip. I have not had that issue. That kind of falls down to just, experience with the rods. I mean, there are ways that you can fish it, and that just doesn't happen. But certainly a deadly, deadly setup. Get yourself 10 or 15 jigs. Darker colors, just like Jared had mentioned, are very, very good, but I love pink in pretty much all situations, and you got to have some white. Just all white jigs, maybe with a chrome or a chartreuse head on it or something, but white body jigs are very, very effective as well. But once you master that, you can use it everywhere. From the big river to small rivers, from the bank, from the drift boat, from a sled, doesn't matter. It is a very, very effective way to catch silvers, and it works for steelhead too, believe it or not. Although there's a lot of other better ways to go after steelhead specifically, but it does work. And of course, Chinook, fall Chinook, love them. Especially if they're caked up in holes and they're, not wanting to bite a lot of other things. Sometimes that will make the difference. All right, do I got time to take Porter's call? Porter is from Portland. He's got a comment about the Buoy 10 fishery. Porter, what do you got for everybody?
Oh, just to let you know, we went back down over the weekend and got some fish again. It was very foggy on Saturday, but it was a very good Buoy 10 season for us. There were a lot of fish down there. Had to let a lot of fish go. Lots. But it wasn't a bad year.
Overall, how would you call it? Would you, out of rating it 1 to 10 for you, where did it fall in?
Oh, probably about a 9 for us.
Oh.
About a 9.
That's not a bad rating at all. I would say that that's a very, very good rating.
We had several days that we got our limits, but there was a lot of bait in the river this year, and also we saw the porpoises going through, and there were whales down in the lower part of the Buoy 10 there. So there was a lot going on, a lot more than usual.
Now, Porter, do you participate in that silver-only fishery down there? Because that can be lights-out fishing as well. Are you going to be heading back at all, or are you going to stay upriver?
We'll probably go back down again. Yeah. Several years ago, they used to have 3 fish a day, and there was one year there was 4 fish a day. Yeah. So those are good fishing when the silvers are in.
Yes, it is. And based on what's going on already, not to jinx it, of course, there's still a lot of silvers that are coming for all of the areas that they do return to. So hopefully things will just get better when you're talking about silvers in particular, because, of course, Chinook will be closed in a lot of areas. Porter, thanks for your phone call and your report on how things went for you from Buoy 10. All right, we're going to cut to a quick break. When we come back, we're going to have your deal of the week from Fisherman's Marine. So don't go anywhere. You'll want to know about this one if you're looking for new electronics for your sled.